Now watch these wind chills starting off very cold this morning, obviously, but they will start to come down a little bit as the winds calm down some. By noon, wind chills approaching -20, and then later on this afternoon getting in between -10 and -20. So this is still very cold, but I'm just showing you that the conditions are starting to improve ever so slightly. Best chance, the best threat will be those high winds. There could be a tornado or two, but the much better chance of severe weather will be these high winds, and the timing definitely between noon and 5 o'clock, but probably more like noon and 2 or 3 o'clock for those storms. Right around freezing, either 32 or 33 degrees. So I think that's going to prevent a lot of accumulation on roadways, but I do think we'll see accumulation on grassy surfaces. And even by 8 p.m. tonight, still seeing light to moderate snow all across the valley before this snow finally tapers off pretty much right before midnight, and temperatures still hanging out right around that 30. Heading out to Lake Milton today. This is often considered the official start to summer. It'll be a little bit cooler up there because of the water, but still high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Water still might be a little bit cold, but it'd be a good day to sit there on the beach and watch those waves roll in. This is a look at the air quality index across the entire Great Lakes region. This is about a 6-hour loop here. Notice the red and purple and pink colors. They are starting to move closer down to our area, and currently the air quality index here in Youngstown is in the unhealthy category. So we're starting to see that smoke drift down in here, and it should even get a little bit worse overnight, because as that rain ends, some of that smoke will come. And I'm meteorologist Adam Clayton. And Anna, do you like sunrises?
I love sunrises.
Well, let me tell you, you are in luck, because let's take it right out here to the Lake Club. Ooh. Where there is a beautiful sunrise outside right now. This weather is 100% better than the weather we were experiencing yesterday. Storm system finally moved out, and we are just seeing some nice, beautiful, clear skies. Now, temperatures are a little bit cooler this morning, and this sunrise is not everywhere. If we go down here and look at the East Liverpool camera, it is socked in with fog. So they're right along the Ohio River, of course, and so there's quite a bit of fog down there. So if you are driving out at about around the fog this morning, make sure you give yourself a little bit extra time to reach your destination, much of which we saw yesterday. This is a look here at interesting cloud formation in Berlin Center yesterday. This was a wall cloud that formed late last night, or at least in the late afternoon, early evening hours. And wall clouds typically form when thunderstorms start to rotate. And typically they are a cloud feature that is associated with a supercell thunderstorm, which is, when you think of thunderstorms, that's sort of like the top shelf, most intense type of storm. We saw a very small one yesterday, and it led to this cloud feature. Very interesting picture, and like always, please, if you ever see any of these interesting cloud formations like this, send pictures into us here at WKBN. I love to show these off. Those winds, that's going to be the big story. By 1 o'clock, seeing 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts enter Mahoning and Columbiana counties. Then those winds increase even higher to around 60 miles per hour. Could see some gusts up to 65, perhaps even 70 miles per hour with this very potent storm system. And so it will be between about noon and 3 o'clock when we could see some of those severe thunderstorms. And then by 4 o'clock, the winds, although they'll still be high, around 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, they do start to come down a little bit, thankfully, as we end the day. So it's because of this, the Storm Prediction Center has placed all of the valley here in this yellow area. This is a risk 2 out of 5 on their risk severity scale that they have at the Storm Prediction Center. And the main threat that we're tracking this afternoon is the potential for some high wind gusts. There is a slight chance that there could be a weak tornado or two, but as far as large hail and flooding goes, not really expecting that because these storms are going to be moving so fast. Have a lightning strike with this storm cell that is pushing, almost about to push into Columbiana County right now, down here near Canton, near the Canton area, just south of there. Everywhere else in the western parts of our viewing area, we're seeing some light to moderate rainfall as well. So this is the current radar view, really watching this area right here. Now, this is not going to be a severe storm by any means, but it is going to track through parts of Columbiana, Mahoning, and Trumbull counties and bring quite a bit of heavy rain. In fact, the rainfall rates here, the green colors, that's over an inch in this purple area. That's around 3 to 4 inches per hour. Now, of course, you're not going to see 3 to 4 inches of rain out of this one cell because it is moving very quickly, but that just goes to show you how heavy the rainfall in this particular cell is. And so definitely going to need a rain jacket and the windshield wipers in parts of Columbiana County. These temperatures are going to bump up a little bit here before this precipitation comes in, just a couple degrees above freezing. Then they'll come back down a little bit to right around freezing. Now the radar showing some echoes starting to show up in parts of Trumbull County. Not going to see any snowfall yet though. There's some dry air to deal with. And looking at this regional radar though, it's snowing in Cincinnati, Dayton, and now snowing in Columbus as well. All of this is pushing towards our area, and we're going to see that snowfall start pretty much right around noon today. Now, how much are we talking about? When exactly is it going to start? Fast forward this future tracker to around noon. Precipitation starting all across the valley. Might start off as a couple of raindrops. I'm not really sold on that. I think it'll be predominantly snow, and then by around 3 p.m. we'll see snow almost everywhere. Temperatures hovering right around freezing, 32 or 33 degrees. So the snow's going to have trouble accumulating on the roadways, and that's good news, of course. It won't really affect travel, but it should accumulate like on cars and decks and also on grassy surfaces. And then by later on tonight around 8 p.m. temperatures pretty much right in the same spot, 32 or 33, and it's at this point where we could see some of that start to stick on the roadways. But notice the snowfall comes to a pretty quick end here, and those temperatures dropping down a little bit below freezing later on tonight. So how much snow are we talking about? I'm forecasting anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of some wet snow all across the area. The exception could be there in Columbiana and Lawrence counties, southern Columbiana and Lawrence counties,